In our episode revision 6, we will revise the real and the nominal GDP. What is real GDP? It is the market value of all final goods and services produced in a year measured at the prices of a given base year. That is current year output written as Q1 into base year's price, which is P0. Okay, so real GDP is a better indicator of economic growth and welfare of people because real GDP indicates increase in the output. An increase in real GDP would mean that the output of goods and services has increased, right? So a real GDP is a better indicator of the economic growth, is what we learned, isn't it? Now let's look at nominal GDP. Generally, this is asked as a question: what do you understand by real GDP and what do you understand by nominal GDP? So the nominal GDP is the market value of all final goods and services produced in a year measured at the prices of the current year. Real GDP is base year and nominal GDP is prices of the current year. That is current year output into current year prices. Q1 into P1. And nominal GDP may increase due to rise in the general prices. So real GDP increase means increase in output. Increase in nominal GDP means because of the rise in the general prices. And this may not be due to increase in the output. So output may not increase. Because of the increase in prices, the nominal GDP might increase. Okay. So how do we calculate the real GDP? Calculating real GDP is given by nominal GDP divided by the price index. Price index we learned the consumer price index or the wholesale price index as learned in our statistics in our class 11 into 100. Okay. This otherwise is called as a GDP deflator. The GDP deflator will be given by price index into price index, which is nominal GDP by real GDP into 100. Okay, this GDP deflator is nothing but the price index. Okay, so let's understand this with the help of this numerical over here. Let us say in an economy there are three goods that are produced, A, B and C. Now the prices in the current year P1 are given by 20, 10 and 30 respectively. And in the base year, their prices were 10, 5 and 20 respectively. The quantity produced were in the current year are 100, 200 and 50 respectively. So what is the nominal GDP of good A? Means every good contributes to the GDP, no? So what is the contribution of good A? This is given by P1 into Q1. P1 is 20, Q1 is 100. So this is given by 2000. Then what is the real GDP? Real GDP is given by P0, that is base year, into output in the current year. So 10 into 100, which is given by 1000, isn't it? So now for good B, what is the nominal GDP that we get? P1 Q1. So 10 into 200, which is again 2000. And real GDP would be P0 Q1. So 5 into 200, which is 1000 again, right? Now for good C, it is P1 Q1, which is 30 into 50. So this is 1500. And P0 Q1. P0 Q1 is 20 into 50, which is again 1000 rupees. Sorry, 1000. So now what do we understand over here? See, the nominal GDP varies from the real GDP for all the three goods. Okay, so let's calculate the nominal GDP. Nominal GDP, which is equal to sigma P1 Q1, isn't it? This is nominal GDP P1 Q1. So let's add 2000, 2000 and 1500, which gives us for 5500, isn't it? Now what is the real GDP? Real GDP is given by P0 Q1. So let us sum it up and we get 1000, 1000, 1000, we get 3000, isn't it? So what is the monetary difference? The monetary difference is 5500 minus 3000, which is equal to how much do we get? We get something around 2500. 2500. This is the monetary difference. But what is the GDP deflator? GDP deflator or price index, as we learnt over here, will be given by nominal GDP divided by real GDP, real GDP into 100. So this will be, what is the nominal GDP? We got it as 5500 divided by real GDP is 3000 into 100. So if you calculate this, you will get 183.33%. Okay. So this shows that there has been an inflation or rise in prices equal to 83.33%. So the prices have increased by 83.33% from the base year to the current year. Now, generally in the examination, what they do is they ask you what is real GDP, what is nominal GDP, and they give you a small numerical for maybe 2 marks or 1 mark, to calculate the price index. So if we know this formula, real GDP is equal to nominal GDP with price index into 100, you can just rearrange to find any one of these. You put price index here, you get real GDP here in the denominator, and you can find price index. So if you want to find nominal GDP, then you take this price index over here, real GDP into price index divided by 100 will give you nominal GDP. So that's how you can rearrange to find out any of these, right? So let's now try to solve a numerical that is generally asked in the examination. Similar type of, the numbers can change. So if real GDP is rupees 200 and price index is 110, calculate nominal GDP. So from what we have learnt over here, let's write down nominal GDP is equal to nominal GDP. Take price index onto the left hand side. So this becomes real GDP into price index divided by 100. Because this is in multiplication, it goes to the denominator. So now we have the real GDP is given to us as 200 into price index is 110 divided by 100. So this, you cancel that and you get 220. So the nominal GDP is rupees 220. See, what you should be very careful over here is the price index is a ratio and is generally given in percentages. So it will not have any other units. Whereas real GDP and nominal GDP, you will have this rupees. So this is very important to note. Generally, when we talk about the gross domestic product, we say that an increase in the gross domestic product implies that the economy is showing some growth, etc. However, this is not always a perfect index of economic welfare. Why? Because it has certain limitations. Okay, so let's first read the definition because this is how it is asked. So GDP is a sum of the total value of goods and services created within the geographical boundary of a country in a particular year. So what is very important is that it is a sum total of value of goods and services. Okay. Now there is nominal GDP and real GDP, and we learned that nominal GDP is a GDP at the current prevailing prices, and real GDP is that which is calculated constant prices, that is the base year. So what's very important is an increase in the real GDP implies that there has been an expansion or increase in the production of goods and services. So an increase in the real GDP is the real economic growth. Now what's very important and what type of questions are asked in the examinations are that an expansion in GDP does not necessarily indicate welfare. Okay. So questions based on this particular statement are generally asked. Why this expansion in GDP does not necessarily indicate welfare is, there are 3 reasons. The first one is distribution of the GDP. What does this mean? See, this may not be the welfare of the people, because if there are inequalities, if this distribution is not uniform, it would mean that there are inequalities, which means that the rich become richer and poor become poorer. So in that case, when this is not uniform, there is no welfare, right? The second one is non-monetary exchanges, like the household chores and the barter exchanges, where there is production of goods and services, but those goods and services are not exchanged for any monetary value. Like, the housewives working at home, or barter exchanges, where only exchange of goods takes place. So this also, because, and these activities are not generally used to calculate the GDP, right? So this is one limitation. The third one is externalities. Externalities, what do we understand by them? Which are the benefits or harms caused by a firm or an individual to the society in general, okay, without being penalized or paid. So there are two types of externalities: the positive externalities, which bring in social benefits, and the negative externalities, which cause social harm. So let's look into this now. The positive externalities increase welfare of the people or the general public. Okay. However, the GDP does not account for such positive externalities. So GDP is an index that underestimates welfare. Okay. And negative externality is, they make it may cause harm to the people, their welfare will fall, and it does not account for such negative externalities. The GDP does not account for such negative externalities. And this GDP overestimates the actual welfare, right? So let's see, so far in the previous question papers, these have been asked as questions, right? So construction of flyovers, is it a positive externality or a negative externality? It's a positive externality, because construction of flyovers reduces the time of travel. Okay, so it's a positive externality. Then popularizing yoga, it benefits, it improves the health of the people. So yoga, though it causes an expenditure from the government, but it increases the health of the people. So it's a positive externality. Then ban on tobacco. See, production of tobacco is included in the GDP, but ban on tobacco would improve the health of the people. So it is a positive externality, right? Then the smoke that comes from a factory is a negative externality, because it would harm the health of the people. People fall sick. And then pollution by vehicles. Pollution by vehicles also, it causes a lot of health problems. So it is a negative externality. Burning stubs by farmers also, it releases smoke into the atmosphere, causing air pollution, and thereby, bringing down the health of the people. So it is a negative externality. Now, certain questions are asked, which have both positive as well as the negative externalities, like the sale of cars. What happens when number of cars increase? It's a good convenience for the people, because it protects them from pollution, because they can travel in a closed this thing, and then travel time will be less, and so on. But it causes pollution. So this is a negative externality. It has both positive as well as negative externalities. Now, oil refinery that is set up, it adds to the GDP, but it causes water pollution, and many, fish and other water beings can die, also causing harm to the fishermen. Those who go into they might lose their jobs, isn't it? So that's a negative externality. Then development of a park in an area, it has a positive externality, because it improves the health of the people, and also contributes to recreation, but it encourages antisocial activities. So this is a negative externality in development of a park. So those were some of the positive and negative externality based upon the GDP questions. Okay, the other limitations that we learned, the questions are related to those limitations also. Let's look into certain case based questions can be asked, like, India's GDP is expected to expand. So, what does the statement mean, whether welfare of the people will increase or not? So here you can talk about all the three factors, or all the three limitations. Then certain questions like managing water pollution and oil refinery, certain kind of things that relate to externalities that we discussed just now. Okay, so what are non-monetary exchanges, and how does it contribute to GDP? So that's also one of the questions that is asked.